What's up, Geek Girl World? This is Ari, and I'm here today with documentary filmmaker Marc Silver to talk about his new documentary, 3.5 Minutes, 10 Bullets. Welcome, Marc.
Hey, Ari, thanks.
So, what attracted you to make a documentary about this story in particular?
Well, we were fortunate enough to meet Jordan's parents a couple of weeks before the George Zimmerman verdict, Trayvon Martin verdict, and we spent about a week together talking about what had happened to Jordan and looking at this, what happened during these 3.5 minutes. And at that point we figured that it was almost a perfect storm of racial profiling, access to guns, and then these laws that give you the confidence to use those guns. But then as the film progressed, as time progressed, Ferguson happened, all of these subsequent cases happened, and we realised that it's not just about what happened during those 3.5 minutes, but those 3.5 minutes are connected to, for example, the 1.5 seconds it took to kill Tamir Rice, or the 4 hours that Michael Brown lay on the floor in Ferguson, and the DNA that was in those 3.5 minutes was the same kind of DNA that was in all these other moments that we were finding out about.
And this film is, you mentioned meeting Jordan's parents, and this film is very sympathetic to what his parents are feeling and going through during the trial. How important was it to you to create that feeling of closely identifying with them?
Yeah, so we followed Jordan's parents intimately through this year of death, this year that they were living through this death, as well as spending time with them before, during, and after the trial every single day. And I thought it was very important that we almost broke this barrier, so that audiences would be able to, see a lot of themselves in those parents, and also to, even though it's unimaginable, to at least try and understand what these deaths mean beyond just what we see on the kind of day-to-day news coverage of these types of incidents, that families and people are destroyed forever and have their lives changed forever by moments like this, and that what happens to humans and what we have to go through. I think these incidents aren't just about the big politics, they're about the human beings that are left behind and have to deal with this. And it made me realise, again, our film is just about what happened to Jordan Davis, but it made me think about all of those deaths that are caused by guns in the US, and that kind of what happened, what Jordan's parents are living through, many tens of thousands of other parents are living through in this country.
I'm glad today's over.
May she be excused.
Even if we don't get the verdict that we expect that we should get, at least the truth has been exposed. The fact that she stood her ground and told the truth is huge. And I didn't expect that she would do that. She was the key witness that could testify against him, and she did. I don't know if she has any children. I don't know if she's a mother. But I was praying that if she were, that something in her consciousness, something in her heart, something somewhere would kick in and she would be convicted to tell the truth.
You also get a sense of the impact that it has to have someone tragically ripped from your life. And I love the way you highlighted the exhibits and points that the prosecution brought out to drive that particular point home, that, Jordan is just ripped from their lives. Was that was intentional on your part?
I mean, the story itself, almost forced me to do that, because of to have somebody taken from you in such a short amount of time for a reason that, once you realise there was no gun, these boys weren't a threat to Michael Dunn. Literally, he was killed for no reason, for no logical reason. Mm-hmm. And how a parent would be able to deal with something like, the way I thought about it was this like irreversible loss, that's something that you could never go back in time and change. And through the trial, you get to almost find out about who Jordan was in his absence. So when they describe what happened during those 3.5 minutes, and you see the clothes that Jordan was wearing, or you get a glimpse of Jordan on a photo on his in his wallet that was used as evidence, and you get these almost glimpses of a person that you're never going to meet, because obviously he's been shot, and through his parents and through his friends who are in the car, who are also on the witness stand, and his girlfriend who saw him for the last time that night, you get to understand who Jordan was, and the person that you get to meet in his absence, that you get to meet. There's no way this person could have been a gun-toting criminal, because the kind of parents he had and the kind of friends he was hanging out with speak to the fact that he wasn't that type of person.
And there was some testimony about, you heard Miss Rower say, "Oh, I hate that thug music."
I didn't say this, but if I had said anything, I would have characterized it as rap crap, not thug music. That's not a term I'm familiar with.
What do you hope the audience walk away with when seeing this film?
I think there's something in it for all different types of audiences.
Thug is the new N-word. That's the new way they pursuing us now. N-word is out and thug is in.
We only knew each other for some minutes. I couldn't tell, baby girl, by the way you kissing. You got a man back home, but he don't seem missing.
Michael Dunn, he just seen us. He just seen 4 black kids, and he heard the music, and he just instantly put thug next to 4 black kids. But you know, if 4 white kids was listening to it, you know what I'm saying, what would you think? They don't call Justin Bieber a thug. He racing Lamborghinis and all this crazy stuff. He's not a thug. He's just a misled kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, thug is just something for African Americans to be called the N-word without being they don't want to seem wrong for calling us the N-word, so they'd be like, look at those thugs. Rap crap was something that they made it up in his head, sat in the jail and just repeated it, made it become something in his brain.
I think for gun owners, it's a very strong, almost a warning to gun owners that, you know, if you don't consider how you use your gun, you may well end up like Michael Dunn and spend the rest of your life in prison. I think for some white audience members, they might get, I feel like it's almost an invitation to reflect on their own, whether they're conscious or subconscious, kind of racial biases, because I think there's some things that Michael Dunn says that, unfortunately, I think, certainly at the beginning of the film, I think there are things that Michael Dunn says about that he felt fear when he pulled up next to this car with 4 black teenagers, that unfortunately other audience members might be able to identify with that fear, and maybe they should question why they have that fear. What is it about young black men that in somewhere this image of danger is constructed? Like, how has that happened? And I think the film, sometimes loudly and sometimes quietly, invites audiences to reflect on that. And then, of course, I just think that for the whole kind of Black Lives Matter movement, who are looking at each of these individual cases that have happened and seeing the links in between them, I think the film helps maybe identify some of those links as well.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the movie. I think you did an excellent job, and yeah, I'm looking forward to other people seeing it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.